All right, guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio Countdown. Mimi Webb, it is so cool to meet you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. You are from, well, obviously England.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in England? Like, where over there?
So I'm from Kent in Canterbury, and I live in London. So family are still in Canterbury.
Okay, I have to ask this because somebody told me this the other day, and I find it so bizarre, even though it's obvious. Do I have an accent to you?
Yes.
That is just so crazy
for
me to even wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
So to you, my accent, I have an accent.
Yeah. It's like the American accent, I guess.
Can you do an American accent?
It's like I need. Oh, okay. Let me try. I feel like I'm so used to it now because I've been in America for I feel like 2 months now. So I'm just like I don't actually even feel like you have an accent anymore. I definitely feel like I'm the one with the accent. But okay, it'll probably be something like. Oh my God, today I had some pizza and now I'm with you. Loving life.
You've been hanging in the LA Valley.
I know, that was terrible.
Mimi, the last couple of years in the States here, a little crazy for obvious reasons. Same thing in England. What's that experience been like in England the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I think, started releasing music as the pandemic hit. So it was really crazy to be at home at my family home and then also trying to build a career. But as soon as we got out of the pandemic, it was full on shows, all the kind of jazz. It was crazy to try and grow a fan base across social media.
That's got to be kind of weird because normally when you go, and granted it's happening now, but when you start an album, you launch an album, a single, you're on the road because you're just banging on doors and but you were stuck looking at a screen inside your bedroom, probably in sweats the whole time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, you just kind of see numbers on your phone or like your laptop, but you don't really get to see people in person. And then when I actually started doing the shows and seeing people singing the songs back to me, that's when it really felt like it was happening.
What a rush. The debut EP came out, 2021. New album in the works. Details, I'm sure most of it's probably top secret. What, as far as this new album, what can you say?
So we're just kind of building towards it really now. And for me, I feel like I want the album to be a bunch of different things. I don't want it just to be set to one thing. And
right.
I think, even on my EP, there was a moodier, darker songs and there was the more emotional songs and the more pop upbeat songs. I think that's where I'm going to head with the album. I'm really excited to we're just diving into it now and just, every session, every studio day is a step closer.
So recording on the road here. Do you record in, I know you do studios obviously, but do you record in hotel rooms from time to time? I know some artists record on a bus. I'm not sure if you're doing that or how's the road recording working out?
I had one of my friends who I write with that came on tour with me for a bit, just to write some tunes. And I record all my vocals. My next single I've recorded all the vocals myself.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, I've just done some this morning. So it's like in the apartment that I'm in. And yes, it's just wherever we are really. I just, get the microphone out, get the little MIDI box out.
Plug in the laptop and
get
all
the
that.
laptop out, get it all plugged in and just start really. And it's really great to be able to have those resources to do that. And, just so that you stay on top of it all and frequently music is being produced.
I would think it'd be kind of cool because, when you first record something, like we got a great song, let's whip the mic out, laptop, and you kind of capture lightning in a bottle because it's hot in your head right then. And sometimes, you'll have to re-record things in another studio, and it's often, I think, tough to capture lightning in a bottle twice.
Yeah.
So if you can have 100%. That stuff ready to go, you're kind of good, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's the thing. I realized that when I'm on my own, there's no pressure. I record my vocals completely different to when it's on the most expensive microphone and I'm in a proper booth and it's so intense. That's when it's just not the same.
I didn't even think about that. And some engineer on the other side of the glass looking at you like, oh God.
Yeah.
Right. What are your fans like, Mimi? Are they chill? Are they crazy? What are your fans like?
They're really just so fun. I mean, they're so dedicated. The amount of day one fans I always see at my shows, and they're right at the front, and I actually have like friendships with them and stuff.
Nice.
It's really lovely. They're all super great and supportive, and I love the edits they make as well on Instagram. I think that's one of my favourite parts, is when you actually get to see what they like make and you share it, and it's just so cute.
I tell you what, my daughter makes a ton of edits for random, different artists all over, and to see the work they put in, I've seen it from the other side.
Yeah.
And she'll sit there and edit like crazy, and she'll, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And she'll recut. It's a life, right?
Yeah, dedication, that's for sure.
Along the fan lines, what's the weirdest place, or the most, the most odd place you've been asked for a selfie? You're going to say bathroom, I know, right? Because fans, for some reason, that happens.
Yeah, I think, the bathroom, when you're just kind of, at dinner and you're with your friends, like something when it's very like, I think also when you're not expecting, because it can be strange, sometimes it can happen within 4 days, it'll be like a lot of people come up to me, or then it will stop for like 2 days, depending where I am. So I think it's always, it's kind of like the bathroom probably. That's when you like just step out and you're like going to wash your hands, and someone's like, Mimi, get me. I'm like, yeah.
Mimi, true or false? You, obviously you dreamed of breaking your music in the U.S., but you were nervous to reveal it to the U.S. audience because, I don't know, why were you nervous for that, if that is even true?
I think for a UK artist, I think breaking out in America is just such a big, part of trying to have that global success that you really want, and to be able to spread to that fan base. There's so many people in America, and I think it's, in the UK compared to the UK, it's completely different. And a lot of artists do end up getting stuck in the UK. And for me, I've just always had the biggest dream of performing at Madison Square Garden and doing all these incredible stadiums and arenas. And for me, just being in America, it's where I started. I signed here in LA when I was 18. So, it's just for me, just to be able to continue that dream here is such a big deal. And I just was so nervous, because also just, you just really hope everyone connects to it here as well, and it all relates well.
It is kind of wild, and kind of, I don't know if anyone's cracked the code on why some artists, not just necessarily from the UK, but in other places around the world, why some artists can crack the US and why some can't.
Yeah.
And why, to be honest, why some artists from the US can't crack the US, but crack in the UK. You know?
Yeah.
It's
really crazy.
Who knows? Who knows?
Never know what's going to happen. Just got to keep pushing.
Amen. Do you like the road life, touring, all that stuff? Some people love it. Some people not so much. Your thoughts on life on the road?
Oh, that's a good one. I do love touring. I think it's, you have different, there's maybe 3 weeks of tour or a month and a half. The tour I've just done with Tate McRae was a month and a half. So it was quite a big one. It was the biggest tour I've ever done. But yeah, I do love it. And I think with touring, it's definitely just, keeping yourself focused, and it also goes really fast. Like, you look back and think, wow, what have I actually done? And then when you're off tour, it all comes flooding back.
I've heard of some stories like, it's and this isn't for everyone, but touring is like an hour on stage of pure bliss. It's the greatest thing ever. And then 23 hours of just straight boredom.
Yeah,
is
literally. Yeah. And a lot of the time you have to just sit around as well and kind of wait for your sound check, and then wait till you're on, and then it's kind of like, when do you go to sleep as well? Because then everyone wants to have a drink and enjoy the evening, and then you're kind of a bit like, oh, what do I do? So yeah, it's kind of just taking every day as it comes, because it's always different. And
you got a big UK tour coming up. Is that or European tour coming up? When's that start?
Yep. So that starts May 22nd. So that's my European tour. I'm so excited to get there. And yeah, it's going to be so much fun, and we're going to have all the crew back, because there was only 6 of us for the Tate tour. And then, so with this one, we're going to have everyone back, tech, everyone in, and yeah, we're going to have such a laugh, and it's just going to be great to see some places I've never been to before.
You seem like you love what you do. That's just what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting. So
yeah, no, it's so great, to be able to perform and write music every day. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
How could that suck? Yeah. The backstory on the song, House on Fire, it is about a boyfriend that cheated, and this is revenge, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a little about, is that it, or what else can you add to that?
It's obviously very tongue-in-cheek character.
You didn't light his house on fire.
No, of course. Never. I always have to make sure I keep that clear. But yeah, it is, very sassy. And I think for us all, all involved in the song, we just wanted to do something where we don't pull ourselves back. We just say it as it is and we go for it.
Right.
And I think House on Fire has all those, it's got the sass to it, the aggression, but it's also the pop, and it's got a really fun beat to it. And especially with the music video that I did with it, it's, very, you can tell it's just having a laugh, and it's all very tongue in cheek. So yeah.
All right. Well, here's a question I ask not every, but most artists. No names required, I'm not going there, but does this person know this song was loosely based or based on them?
I don't know. I feel like probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, it should start to sink in, especially with my next song and everything coming. And I think, yeah, this is probably the start. And also, I think it's hilarious because House on Fire, starting that as my first release of this year, I just went straight for the person. I mean, they're probably thinking, oh my gosh. Why
do I love that so much? Holy crap. Let's play House on Fire, Mimi.
Let's do it.
You gave me a little bit of the backstory there. By the way, I've had chats with other artists about this topic as well. When you write a song that's inspired by or based or loosely based on someone, do you let them know before it comes out? Like, hey, heads up, I'm about to get at you, you know.
I mean, if they look
I don't think you need to.
Yeah, I feel like if they look at my TikToks, I tease it before it drops. So they'll probably, that's their warning for sure. I mean, yeah, that's like how good it gets for me.
Yeah, I think if you're dating someone that is in the music or as a writer or performer, that's just, assumed risk. Got to act right or you'll end up in a song.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100%. Well, I've got a boyfriend now as well.
So that's a warning for him.
I'm like, you don't even. And it was so funny because we had a show and a fan, like, she was so sweet. She was about 8 years old. She went up to me. She was like, if you break Mimi's heart, or if you break Mimi's heart, Mimi's going to cheat on you and write a song about it. And I was like, hang on, I'm not the cheater in this.
Whoa.
It was the sweetest thing ever. He was laughing.
What else do people need to know about House on Fire and the video as well? What do people need to know?
I think the video is so fun because I got to play some really cool roles and characters, and I grew up loving acting, so it was so fun to be able to bring that into the music video. And yeah, it's just really fun, and I think the video really kind of shows the tongue-on-cheek, light-hearted kind of joke, around the song, and how it's just very out there, and it's kind of like, don't take it too seriously kind of thing for the video, and I wanted to make sure that really came across. So it was really fun to be able to do that, and we had such a good time with it. And I think with House on Fire, it's a song that I'll always, it's something that you'll never forget as well, because everything you want to say, it says, and you're not holding back. And I think that was the whole point around the song. Just something people could scream in their cars and just not have any bad feelings about it. Just bring like light and good energy to them.
That's why this track is That's why it's working, because it's real, and everything you just said. 2-part question: what do you consider your best live performance? Everything was just about perfect. I mean, it was a dream. Then the complete flip of that. What do you consider your worst performance? Everything went straight to hell.
Oh, that's a good one. I've had a performance where the drums, the bass drum, just completely nearly like fell off the stage.
Oh God.
Yeah, so we had to quickly my tour manager had to quickly like run on the stage and like get it back up, screw it back on, and it was a nightmare. But and then probably when the track wasn't starting, the playback was kind of messing about a bit, and it was all happening at once. So I was like, right, what are we gonna do? So I had to just kind of pause and talk for a bit while we sorted it out. So it didn't go too bad, but yeah, it was definitely one of those things where all the band and crew were just like, really, does this need to happen?
And what about what do you consider your best? Everything was just flawless.
I had some really good nights on the Tate tour. It was great. But I'd say a performance I've always remembered is when I performed at a festival in the summer last year in the UK. It was one of my first ever festivals performing, and it was actually like the second show I'd ever done while being out of the pandemic. And yeah, it was there was about 12,000 people, and the tent was packed. It's like the whole of the outside was packed. People were chanting my name, and I honestly didn't think anyone would know any of my songs because it was so early on. And I was like, oh no, what's it going to be like? People aren't going to be in the tent. It's going to be empty. And then there's like a video of me like just getting ready to go on stage, and everyone just starts chanting my name. And it was just a goosebumps moment. All my family and friends were like in tears. We were just like, because I was so nervous. Like I was built up this anxiety because I was so nervous that no one was going to want to watch my set. So it was just so crazy to see that reaction and then go on stage and just kind of let my instincts take over.
What's it like having a room or a tent full of complete strangers chant your name and know your lyrics? That's got to be a rush that's hard to duplicate.
Oh, literally, yeah. It's one of those feelings that just never goes away, and you just feed off that adrenaline. And even to this day, I just remember being there, look behind the curtain, getting ready to go on stage and hearing this chanting and just like not knowing what to do, what to say when I'm on there. And it's just, and then you just rock out with them all and just really like soak it up.
That's a rush to say the least. I read a story about your piano teacher inspired you to basically pursue this career. What'd she say? Like, give me some backstory on how she inspired you.
So it was just very, I went in and I was like, right, I've got a song I can play. And they were like, yeah, go ahead. Like, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to see what you can do. And if you can sing at the same time, why not? So I was like, right, turn the whole thing into a singing lesson. And then, I just started playing Someone Like You on the piano by Adele and singing, and literally everyone in the music block just lost their heads. It was quite, I thought I did the wrong chord. I was really worried I'd played it really bad, because they were all like, right, we're calling your mum up. That's it. Like, we need to get her in the office. Like, we're going to talk to her. She needs to get you to like really push you to do this. And then from there, I just went off to music school and just really like got into the headspace of how it is to be an artist and what you really need to do. And then, nothing can really prepare you when you actually do get noticed and someone is like, right, I've got I can help you find the answers to what you want to do. And that was like the biggest moment. So yeah, it was just so cool just to see how it would go from that in my first piano lesson to then years of growing that throughout and get my family to support me and everyone really see that this is something I could do. And then to then actually jump into it, on my own and with my team and build a team and, get used to how the industry works was just so cool. So yeah, just a full circle moment.
Well, was family, were they at first like, the typical family, wait, get a real job? Was there a little bit of that?
Yeah, so my mum always thought every little girl could sing. She just thought that was just she was so like, I was like, oh gosh, mum. But she really did. She was like, I thought everyone could sing. Like, so she never really thought anything too much of it. And she kind of knew, because I was doing a lot of musical theatre too and acting, and my voice was never musical theatre. It was never really had that tone to it. It was a lot huskier, and I always wanted to be in the studio and in the booth, and it felt like that was the right thing for my type of voice. But I think when people started to really like pull her up about it, she was like, oh, actually this maybe could work. And then I just moved away at 16 from my whole family, and I went to music school and I lived with a host family, and I just from there just built it all up. And my whole like YouTube channel and everything that I could do to be able to have something people could go to if they thought I had a nice voice, or whatever, however it works.
Man, well, I'm sure everybody's, you did the right thing, clearly.
Yeah, it's so good.
Mimi, you don't know this about me. I am obsessed with the paranormal. Ghost, UFOs, all that stuff.
I am too.
Stop it, really?
Yeah.
Have you had a paranormal encounter?
I have before.
Details, please.
So I've had an experience where one of my friends, we'd had like a weekend, because there were boarders. There was like a group of us girls. So we all just wanted to go out of, get out of town, get a nice like Airbnb. We were all staying there, and it was really nice, new, but the building was really old, but you could tell it was like refurbed, and it was really nice. And there was one night I just woke up all of a sudden, and there was a bit of moonlight shining into the room. So there was still a bit of light, but I was right next to the bathroom door, and it was wide open, but you could still see all the details because of the moonlight. And I just opened my eyes, and I swear to God, it sounds so weird, but there was this strange, like, figure right in front of me. Ugh. And you could kind of see, like, fingertips, and it was really strange. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm just sleeping, but I screamed so loud, and everyone woke up. Everyone ran into my room freaking out. And then for the rest of the night, I just felt like someone was watching me. It was really horrible. And I don't know, I might have been sleeping, I don't know, but it was very real in the moment. And then the next day this was the last night, so we were going back home, packing up, and I thought, I'll just Google the postcode and just see if there's anything about this building. And it was actually an old, like, mental health centre, like, because where we were staying, the whole of the town, most of the town was like a hospital, and it had so many different areas and like sections. We were in one of the sections that was used to be for the mental health facility. So it was like really cool. It was really
the thing
cool.
that gets me is when you said you saw the fingertips. That just sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it was written. It was tall, and you could just feel this energy. It was really strange. And my auntie, my dad's twin sister, she's like a medium and does all that kind of stuff. So she like, I speak to her about all of it. And she's like, yeah, I know that. She can feel it off of me.
Well, okay, everybody's rejected me on this, and you'll probably reject me too. On your next tour, the UK tour, all that's going to be kicking off soon for you. You'll be staying in some nice hotels, I'm sure. Some of these hotels have a backstory, and a lot of them have the haunted room. Don't stay in this room. Beware of this room. Request that room, and let me know what happens in there.
Oh my gosh, that would be the most no sleep for me that night. That's for sure.
This is the part where you reject me. I know, it's okay. I just had Lizzo in. She's like, hell no, JoJo. Nah. Have you ever been starstruck? I heard one story about you meeting. You can say anybody you want, but there was a story with you meeting Ariana.
Oh my gosh, yes, that was insane. I can't even. It was crazy because I was 18 and we were in the same studio area. And I'd just gone in and had a meeting, and I was going to go back that evening for the actual session. So I was with my manager. I was all really excited because these guys that I was going to work, like I was working with, were massive, and I was so young and excited, and yeah, still like that now. But yeah, I basically was just running out, and there was the compound area, and I jumped towards the entrance of the door, and it shaked, and someone was on the other side, and someone went, oh my gosh, and I was like, oh no, someone's behind the door. No, so we were just like, calm down, me. My manager Rob was like, calm down, Mimi, like it's all good. So then you have to like press a button to say your name to be able to get entry in. And so she's pushed the button, and all you hear is, hey, it's Ariana. And I was like, it still didn't click for me. I was like, nah, this is nothing, like this, whatever. And then as we open the door, because I was like, oh, I'm already on the other side, I'll just open the door. But you have to say your name, like they're quite, like they have to be careful. Security, yeah. And then, so we've opened the door, and she's right there, and like she's got this like knitted pink like jumper dress to the knees, long pink knee boots, and it was just after Thank You Next album, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh! Like, it took me a moment to really realise, and I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, I was like, sorry about that, girl. I was like, sorry about that. I'm getting a bit excited. And then she's like, no worries, guys. Lovely to meet y'all. Like, so sweet. And then I walked out, and I was like, oh my God, I was like freaking out the whole day. Like, should I have asked for a picture? Like, did I do the right thing? Did I say that? Was I nice? Like, freaking out. And then, yeah, she just walked off looking gorgeous. I was starstruck.
Now, have you met her or seen her since then?
No, I haven't.
At some point you'll be meeting, of course, taking a pic, but put it into the air like a collab down the road or something like that.
I'll be like, let's write a song about that little door situation.
Got it. She's been through here quite a few times. She's so awesome, man.
So sweet.
Louis Capaldi, I'm told, and once again, I don't know if this story is true or what I have right or wrong. He gave you advice and pushed you in some way, encouragement, whatever. What did Louis say to you? If you don't mind sharing that.
He was so sweet. He came to one of my shows in London because we write a lot with the same people, so they just kind of connected us. And then we all ended up going out after with all like my family, my friends, and he joined us. And it was so much fun. He's the best. And we had a really nice chat, and he was just, telling me how like you've just got to really just keep happy and focused and balanced. There's always a balance, and at the end of the day, it's your art, it's your music, and you've just got to always remember that because you do have a lot of people in the team, and there's a lot of different opinions and thoughts. So yeah, it was just really good advice, and he's he was at the time writing his album and stuff, so I think he had a lot of wisdom from that, and it was really nice to hear.
He's such a fun. I mean, I've only met him during the pandemic over, I think it was an IG Live or whatever. So yeah, but he's so funny, just funny. Hilarious dude, right?
Yeah, hilarious, and he loves a drink, which is great.
Good time for that. Your family, your friends, that super tight inner circle, they've been through this whole ride with you. What's their reaction to your success so far, and what's your reaction too?
They're so excited. I think I'm traveling a lot at the moment, and I think all my friends are just rooting for me from home, and they're just really excited. And I actually have them all to all my shows. I have like my little group, and they're always there, and it's really nice. It's just so nice to have a network of people there that are just supporting you from behind the stage, and I just think for me, it's just all very exciting, and I just take it day by day, because you've also got to always have the balance as well, being with your family and friends and also working. So it's just having that kind of balance as well.
I think I saw, I haven't seen the video, but somebody mentioned about you posted a pic of your dad after he heard your song on the radio for the first time.
Yeah.
What a cool rush that must have been, huh?
Yeah. He is so proud. And I think just to also have those moments where I play them the songs for, to start with, and all these different things that happen, they just think, wow. And I think for them to be a part of the process with my TikToks and things like that, they just love being involved. And yeah, it's just, I just feel like I'm meant to do this. And it's just like something that my personality really gives to, and like really, I just enjoy it. I love doing all the cameras and doing all the writing and doing all the shows and just doing and meeting people. I think that's a huge part as well, because for me, I learn and I grow by meeting people and learning about their stories.
Quick recap, Mimi. House on Fire is out. Get on this track, or you're probably a bad person. That's safe to say.
Love it.
New album. She's working on a new album. UK tour. By the way, I mentioned my obsession with British culture and whatnot. I took a DNA test, and I am basically all British.
Woo,
so yeah, minus the accent. So I need what is your British tea tips? I've heard a couple of different versions of how you make your British tea. How do you make your tea?
So I do a lot of sugar. I do,
Good for
and
you.
I go for a good old 2 or 3 doses of sugar in the cup. It's everyone always goes, "What, Mimi? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah,
Need some sugar.
But you tea bag first, water.
Yeah.
Do you microwave the water? Do you on the stove?
Oh no, it has to be stove kettle.
I was told that. Tom Brennan told me that. It says never microwave the water.
Yeah, and it's crazy because traveling around America and seeing that there's not actually many kettles about. Like, I actually haven't been able to get my hands on many kettles in hotel rooms. It's very it's very, in England, it's very, kettles and on the stove and all that. And then it's tea bag in the cup, boiling hot water in, take the tea bag out once it's all melted in, and then you put your milk in, and then I put some sugar in.
God, that sounds good. All right. I got to learn.
Good.
Now that I'm British, Hey, what am I forgetting to ask you, Mimi? Anything else people need to know about Mimi Webb?
Lots of new music coming. I've got my Europe tour coming up. And also I'm doing my Australian and New Zealand tour, and that's happening in September. So I'm very excited for that. I'm just so excited to be here in America a lot more this year and performing and, just getting to know people, and excited for people to know my music.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official.
Yeah.